Hey guys, welcome back to Trade Easy. Today we're going to be speaking about something that a lot of people don't have under their belt as new traders, right? As proficient traders. And that is understanding the difference between how a true breakout looks, and how a fake out looks, okay? And don't get me wrong, even with the best of us, sometimes, it just gets us, which is okay. Trading isn't just a win-win-win-win situation. You're gonna have losses, and as a trader, it's important to know how to weather those losses. It's important to take the most advantage of those losses. So, without further ado, we're looking at US 30, the Dow Jones, right? As you guys can see, I already have this chart fully marked up, right? And I'm gonna show you guys what happened. So I'm gonna get rid of some of these so it's not so cluttered. Okay. So the market started heading down, right? This is March 22nd. Market's heading down. Has a big push up on Monday, March 23rd, right? This is like the beginning pretty much of the week, if you don't include Sunday. It plays on this engulfing candlestick. Then, as you guys can see, it starts forming an upward trend, right? And for those of you that understand upward trends, one of the things I always want to look at is for a good break of that upward trend, right? That possible reversal. But what happened here? So the market was headed upwards, and then it looked like we had a break here. I'm going to remove this so you guys can see. Okay, this candle peaked out. Not such a big deal, but like the next candle is completely out of the trend line. Right, so that's considered a breakout. Okay, it had a retest, right, in the same area that it broke out of. So now we're looking for a possible sell potentially. But guess what? Instead of the market heading down, it headed down to right here. Then it reversed back into the market. Right, so is this a breakout? Or is it actually a fake out? So this, guys, was fake out number one on this trend. Okay, that was a big fake out because it even had a confirmation, but a confirmation is no guarantee, right? So even though it had that confirmation and it started to head downwards, it juked us because ultimately it went straight back in. Not only did it go in, look at this aggressive move. This is a huge candle, guys. Go ahead and measure it. Wow. 935 pips. That's massive. Almost 1,000 pips, guys. That is huge. It was even bigger, I believe, than this one if we don't count the wick. Actually, with the wick, it might be about neck to neck. Let's see. No, it was even more with the wick. Without the wick, we were like at about the same. But with the wick, we're looking at 1,600 pips. Okay, so two massive candles pushing up. This one already played on that 50, on that engulfing candle. This one surprisingly didn't, right? So that's why I put this no retest yet. So as some of you more proficient traders know, whenever we don't see a retest, right, on something as significant as this, that could be an indication that the market does need to come and fulfill at least half of this candle. But it never did, right? No retest. It never did. This tells us that eventually it's going to have a massive drop because it does eventually need to fulfill this area. But as you guys can see, it started going upwards again, right? It's on the same trend. Now let's take a look at this area. Okay, this candle broke out, retested. But, I wouldn't have gone into this trade because the next candle breaks back into the trend. So I would have probably waited. Okay, it's playing. Okay, back in the trend. Breakout. retest. Then I see these red candles. To me, I would have entered the trade right here. But guess what, guys? Once again, the market juked us. Didn't have as an aggressive a move as this, but it still did have an aggressive move back into the trend, right? So this is juke number 2, right? Breakout or fake out? This is our second fake out of this trend. Okay. Once again, following the trend, boom, breaks out. It drops even further, drops aggressively. Now you're thinking, dang, is it even gonna give us a retest indication, or it might just head straight down? We know that it has to fill this area down here, you know, but again, comes back up. Okay, this looks like a perfect confirmation, especially with this red candle following this confirmation. It was a perfect kiss, guys. Look at that. Mwah, right on the trend line. Mwah, downwards. Once again, started playing upwards, right? This has been a really tricky trend line. Started heading down a little bit, but eventually made its way back into the trend, right? It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back and play on this line, but we have to be careful, guys, because this specific trend is playing games, right? A lot of the times what we'll see when it comes to these trends is we'll see something like this, right? We'll see, let's say, a breakout here, and then we'll immediately see a candle like this green one right next to it and come right back in. Those are the most classic fake outs we'll see. You know, they're very clear. This is a little more confusing, so that's why I wanted to show it to you guys. And the fact that it's already happened 1, 2, 3 times is very interesting. Now US 30 is approaching, I believe, its highest high, right? I'm gonna go ahead and move this a little higher up so I can actually touch the highest point, right? So right now, we're probably gonna be anticipating a huge drop. But if you guys are gonna be trading this, beware, because when it comes to some uptrends and downtrends, even with confirmations, it can still be considered a fake out. And we'll see how this plays out next week, but we'll tune back in. I might do a updated video, you know, on what happens next, what the next moves in the markets are. But that's been my fake out versus breakout video. See you guys on the next one.